My name is Shashi Kumar. I am the founder of Nirvana Yoga Shala and Osho Limbs Mysore. Both these centers are based in the heritage city of India, Mysore. So I'm happy to share my experiences so far in my life. So my mother died when I was 16-year-old, 1990, and that made me to quest for life. What is the meaning of life? What is death? What is rebirth? So all the esoteric questions. So I started looking in many ashrams, reading scriptures. With some extent I used to get answers, but I was never satisfied. So my mother's death made me to look into the spiritual life, the meaning of life. From the age of 16 itself, I started visiting many ashrams, traditional ashram, more of searching for the meaning of life. But nowhere I could not able to find the answers. So finally, a friend of mine first gave me a book of Osho. I started reading the book, and which answered many of my questions, what I was looking for. And slowly I started buying more books, and for about 2 years I read more than 300 books of Osho. And then I decided, in one book Osho said, burn all my books, start meditating. And that is where I started searching for a meditation center, and there was some meditation camps happening in Mysore in those times. So I started attending those camps, and I was still not sure about Osho is my master. I was still searching, but I was getting all the answers what I was searching for. And for about 6 years I started practicing Japanese martial art, Okinawa Shorin rule, and I got black belt in karate. For survival I was also working in a company, and parallelly every day I was meditating. And then at the age of 27, when this experience became more deeper and deeper and deeper, the kind of job I was doing was abstracting my path. So one day I decided to resign my job and pursue teaching meditation, teaching yoga, teaching breathing practices as my career. It was a very difficult decision, because the kind of salary I was getting, the kind of profit you get from the kind of money you get from teaching meditation, it was peanuts in teaching meditation. But I decided to do this because this was my passion, and I was no more enjoying the kind of work I was doing. So I decided to start a small meditation center in a rented place and start teaching meditation. I was a very angry young man when I grown up. What martial art does is, it acts like a therapy. So you throw out all the anger, sadness, suppressions through the movements of karate. There are punches and kicks, there are fightings, there are sword fightings, and these movements really leads towards the meditation. All Japanese martial arts always leads towards the Zen meditation, which is a passive meditation practices. So in those times for me it was very easy to meditate. Probably it would have been very difficult to meditate if there was no martial art. So for me martial art became a medium towards the meditation. And later on, when the martial art became a barrier for the meditation, because it became a goal oriented, more to win the tournaments, win the gold medals. So it was one point of time became an obstacle, and that is a time I shifted from martial art to yoga. One point of time I had an issue that how I can survive from whatever the spiritual technique I have acquired. In my life, when I was started the meditation journey, a spiritual journey, I never thought I was going to start a yoga center, meditation center one day. So having saying that, it ended up that I started enjoying what I love to do and passion of life. So at that point of time, I got one more spiritual master and exposed to the group of such people who are interested. And he is a Russian mystic called George Ivan Savanich Gurdjieff. I started involving with very few, because there was a lot of people known about Osho, very few people know about Gurdjieff. I involved with the Gurdjieff group and started practicing Gurdjieff sacred dance and Gurdjieff esoteric practices. What I learned from Gurdjieff is how to continue journey in the spiritual life, as well as how to survive. So you can meditate in the cave and live your whole life in the cave. That is one path. But you are existing in the society. So how to be the Buddha in the marketplace. And Gurdjieff is an amazing master to teach. So I started deeply involving with Gurdjieff and parallelly continuing my meditation journey with Osho. And then I decided to teach and incorporate both Osho and Gurdjieff journey, as well as yoga has become also my path. And I started following the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. And I decided to combine my experiences of yoga, tantra and meditation. And also I was exposed to the shamanism of South America. So now my whole concept is how to work on the simultaneous practice of physical, intellectual, emotional and spiritual. So these 4 layers of consciousness. So we have tools, techniques, for example, Hatha Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Tai Chi, martial art. These are all helps to enhance our physical layer, Annamaya Sharira. So Pranamaya Sharira will be enhanced by pranayama practices. Manomaya Sharira can be enhanced with meditations. But simultaneously practicing on Annamaya Sharira, Pranamaya Sharira, Manomaya Sharira, that is a physical energy, mental energy and emotional energy, leads to the 4th layer, which is the psychic layer, also called as the spiritual layer. These two, yoga and tantra, is purely the science of the soul. There is no religion, there is no God here. So it is all how to expand the consciousness multidimensionally. So when it comes to consciousness in a multidimensional expansion, so it has to be a science, and the science of the inner. Tantra means how to union the yantra with the medium of mantra, so the union of tantra happens. Yantra means our physical body. Mantra is a sound. So with the union of the sound, our Shiva and Shakti, the yin and yang, merges, so tantra happens. So when it comes to yoga, yoga is a systematic development of physical, mental and emotional. So the very path is Satudirgakala Nairantarya Satkara Sayuto Drudabhumi. For a longer period of time, with the disciplined practice, you attain the state of Samadhi. Whereas Tantra, we start the journey wherever you are. You don't have to be a great asana practitioner to become a Tantrika. You can start the journey wherever you are good at. And Tantra don't have any dualities. Tantra means we take you as you are. So Nirvana Yoga Shala and Osho Glimpse Mysore, the main aim is the scientific way of teaching the things, teaching all the practices. So we have Hatha Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, Yin Yoga, Tantra Yoga. So all these things for physical transformation. The Tantric method of pranayama practices, how to sublimate Kundalini energy into the brain. So we have a Tantric method of pranayama practices. And we have many Tantric meditations, Osho meditation, Tibetan meditation. So all these cultures, just because Buddha has invented Vipassana, that doesn't mean that Vipassana is a Buddhist meditation. The world has seen thousands of masters. So we are utilizing those tools and scientifically teaching. This is the main aim of Nirvana Yoga and Osho Glimpse Mysore. I make sure that this center is not cultish, not one dimension oriented. It is a multi-dimensional oriented. And that is why for the total development of human consciousness and multi-dimensional expansion, we need to simultaneously work on all the energy centers of the body. Only right now what yoga has become is it is too much physical oriented. So you bend your body, and that is what yoga is called as. Yoga is not that. Somebody who understands intellectually Patanjali Sutras, he is also a yogi. Somebody who only masters the breathing, who is also a yogi. Somebody who masters the asanas, who is also a yogi. So right now the very path of yoga and tantra is became most misunderstood, but it is purely the science. So we want to bring the science in Nirvana Yoga Shala and Osho Mysore. See, if you look into the West, it is materially grown, spiritually poor. If you look into East, it is spiritually rich but materially poor. So material-spiritualism or spiritual-materialism is the need of the hour. Materialism means utilizing all the beautiful things, meditation or whatever the richness, inner richness it enhances. So in Nirvana Yoga Shala we have yogic food, international standard accommodation, international standard yoga studios, soundproof meditation hall, and internationally certified faculties. And we are not only covering philosophy of Patanjali Sutras, Bhagavad Gita, Vedas and Upanishads, we are also having the anatomy of yoga, Ayurveda, and esoteric practices like past life regression, Tibetan singing bowl healing sessions, and many more practices. So with this way, we want to make the Nirvana Yoga Shala and Osho Mysore a unique place. Let me speak about this, what is Corona, from the esoteric angle of Gurdjieff. This is nature correcting itself. So far, we don't have any evidence on the earth 7 billion population ever lived on the earth. But one extremities of species overpowers the other. This is the nature's way of correction. We have many evidences dinosaurs lived. It is now part of the history. So when you can pollute nature and started controlling, coronavirus is the nature-made disease to balance and rejuvenate itself. Now, less people will start traveling, less people will start using the petrol and diesel, and less people will start abusing the nature. So the nature within 2-3 years, it will correct by itself. Since we are part of the nature, this will be a challenging time. This will going to shake our roots, shake our ambitions, and we never face this kind of situation where death and survival are the two options. So in this circumstance, the path of spirituality plays an important role, particularly how you balance where you stand and how to connect with nature. Okay? So nature has given now a social distancing. That doesn't mean that you have to isolate yourself and never come out. We are going to be stagnated. So in this circumstance, there are moments where we need to study a lot of books, do a lot of meditation, and this is the moment for us connection with nature should increase. And for that, we are also planning to start online classes, online yoga, online meditation, and to raise the level of consciousness, not to panic with fear, because we can rise above the Buddhas in terms of consciousness, and we can follow below the animal also. Human beings have got these two possibilities. So this is the nature Maya to make us understand that the nature is the supreme and we need to surrender to it and start looking our life from the beginning. This nature made disease, the world won't be the same as of now, how we were living. So a lot of changes will happen in all the business structures, business houses, so as well as in the yoga studio owners and teachers, meditation teachers, tantra teachers. So what this nature of disease is telling is social distancing. Also, when you socially distance, that don't stop you the inner distance. So you should reach more inner reservoirs of your life and still keep teaching. So more you teach, more you are enhancing your resources. You use all the modern technology and tools and started sharing. You can share free or you can charge online, but keep teaching. This is very important. More you teach, more you are gaining. So use the modern technologies, online classes, and even if you want to, if government permits, started opening the studios, make sure that all the mats are clean, everybody should take a shower before and after the showers, and then wash the hand. So all the medical coronavirus, what medical societies are telling. And moreover, this is the time to go inner, because only consciousness understands the nature of consciousness. When consciousness has given this kind of challenges, there is also your insights give you some insight how to cope up with this. So this is the most challenging moment, and the only spiritual people can able to give answers than most of the collective unconscious people. So this is the moment where the studio owners should follow the medical world as well as follow the inner world. Inner journey is the only way. So far all the outer journey has failed. We achieved the technology of going to Mars and Moon and Saturn and Jupiter, but just one virus is shaking everything. So this is a warning, a beginning message, and more messages will come soon from the nature. So start the journey inner, start your practices. This is what Patanjali first sutra says. Now the discipline of yoga. Okay, come to the path of yoga and tantra and see yourself.